Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? Thanks for stopping by, being a passenger on the P Reacts Daily Train. I appreciate everybody that's been coming by and helping out with the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out, especially since I'm a newer channel. Also, it helps with the algorithm. Don't forget, this is not a substitute for the original content, so go over to the original artist, watch it on their channel, give them a like, show them some love. Also, we don't redistribute any of the content, so we're following all the copyright rules. My name is P, and we'll get started on this video as soon as we see our disclaimer. Alrighty, today's video, we have top 10 satellite images that raise serious questions. And this is not a substitute for the original, so go over to the original channel, watch it there, give them a like, show them some love, subscribe to their channel, because we are just a reaction to this content. And this is from the Most Amazing Top 10 channel, so go check them out. And let's get into this and check it out.
We like to think that we know every corner of our planet, but high above us, circling in the silent vacuum of space, satellites are catching things that weren't meant to be seen. From ancient traps that shouldn't exist to high-tech glitches that look like a digital nightmare, some images have left even the world's top experts scratching their heads. Today we're looking at the evidence that prompted investigations, fueled theories, and changed history. These are the top 10 satellite images that raise serious questions. In a remote and windswept corner of northern Kazakhstan near the shores of the Upper Tabal Reservoir, the Earth holds a shape that seems more suited for a horror movie than a public landscape. From the sky, a giant, perfect pentagram is etched into the surface of the Earth, measuring roughly 1,200 feet in diameter. When this image first went viral on Google Maps, the internet exploded. The pentagram has been a symbol of the occult, the Church of Satan, and the deity Baphomet for centuries. Seeing it in a region with almost no human habitation for miles led many to believe that they had discovered the site of a secret, high-level cult ritual. However, the truth is a fascinating look into the remnants of the Soviet Union. Archaeologists eventually identified the shape not as a ritual site, but as the skeletal remains of a Soviet-era park. During the height of the USSR, the five-pointed star was the most recognizable symbol of the state. It was on the flag, on military uniforms, and as it turns out, it was a popular design for park layouts. The lines of the pentagram that look so sinister from above are actually tree-lined roadways. The central circle was intended to be a beautiful lakeside plaza, and the 5 points of the stars were walkways where Soviet citizens were meant to stroll. But after the collapse of the Union, the project was abandoned. The harsh climate of the Kazakh steppe took over, the trees grew wild, the pavement cracked, and the park was reclaimed by the Earth. Today it stands as a ghost park, a massive geometric relic that can only be truly appreciated or feared from space. For decades, pilots...
Yeah, so things aren't always as they seem. There you go. Just it was a simple thing as a park, and they did it that way. It's kind of like Washington, D.C. It's made in like a pentagram shape too, like that, like a 5-point star. So it's probably just for people can walk and get easier to places in the park or something, so they use that design, because then it don't matter what side you come in, it's closer or something like that.
Flying over the rugged basalt deserts of Jordan, Israel, and Saudi Arabia reported seeing strange, low-slung stone walls. These walls form massive V-shapes, sometimes stretching for miles across the arid terrain. From the ground, they look like nothing more than random piles of rocks, almost invisible to the naked eye. But once high-resolution satellite imagery became the standard for archaeology, the true terrifying scale of these desert kites were finally revealed. These weren't just walls, they were the first evidence of industrial-scale animal slaughter. Built as far back as 5,000 years ago, these kites function as massive, sophisticated hunting traps. Ancient tribes would organize hundreds of people to create a drive. They would then stampede entire herds of gazelle, wild cattle into the wide mouth of the V. As the animals ran, the walls designed to be low enough not to spook them, but high enough to keep them contained, and they would slowly start to narrow. The animals would eventually be funneled into a small circular enclosure at the tip of the kite. These enclosures often featured hidden pits, pits, deep holes dug into the earth where the animals would fall and break their legs. The satellite imagery revealed thousands of these kites scattered across the Middle East, suggesting that ancient humans weren't just small groups of scavengers, they were highly organized, capable of massive engineering projects, and were systemically altering the landscape to dominate the local wildlife on a scale that historians previously thought was impossible for that era. In 2015, a property developer in Byron Center, Michigan was surveying a neighborhood on Google Earth when he noticed a pale, car-shaped blur at the bottom of a murky retention pond. He initially thought that it was a trick of the light or maybe a data artifact, but the shape was just too perfect. When authorities winched the vehicle from the muck, they found the skeletal remains of David Lee Niles, who had vanished in 2006. The car, a light-colored 2003 Pontiac, had been resting just 30 yards from a busy road and a local funeral home for 9 years. Because the pond was filled with dark, stagnant water and heavy algae, divers couldn't see it from the surface. However, the satellite's high-angle lens managed to catch the reflection of the car's roof during a rare period of clear water, providing closure to a case that has haunted that community for nearly a decade. North Sentinel Island, located in the Bay of Bengal, is often called the hardest place on Earth to visit. It is home to the Sentinelese, a tribe that has lived in total isolation for an estimated 60,000 years. They are known for their fierce defense of their territory, famously firing arrows at any helicopters or boats that get too close. In 1981, a cargo ship called the MV Primrose ran aground on the island's jagged coral reefs during a heavy storm. The crew was eventually rescued by helicopter after a tense standoff with the tribespeople, but the ship itself was abandoned due to the elements. Today, if you look at satellite images of the island's northwestern coast, you can see the rusted, haunting skeleton of the Primrose still perched on the reef. But as satellite technology improved, observers noticed something strange. The ship was slowly disappearing. This raised serious questions about the Sentinelese. This is a society with no known fire-starting capabilities and no history of metalworking, yet satellite photos over the decades showed the tribe had been successfully scavenging the wreck. They managed to break off large chunks of high-grade industrial steel, which they then cold forged into razor-sharp arrowheads and harpoons. The satellite imagery provides a rare, surreal look at the intersection of a Stone Age society and the wreckage of the modern industrial world, showing how even the most isolated humans on Earth will adapt and innovate when modern technology literally lands on their doorstep. If you're scrolling through the remote fields of Finland, you might stumble upon an image that looks like a still from a horror movie, an army of nearly 1,000 figures standing perfectly still. From a satellite's perspective, they look like a massive crowd gathered for a dark ritual. This is the Silent People, an art installation by Reggio Kella. Each figure has a wooden frame, real secondhand clothing, and a head made of living peat. Twice a year, volunteers change their clothes to match the season, because the heads are organic moss. They grow and change over time, giving the crowd an eerie, evolving quality. When the wind blows, the clothes flutter, making the figures look like they are actually moving, as if the earth itself has sprouted a silent, judging audience. High atop the
That's funny. That'd be spooky as hell, though, if you're walking through there and you just happen to see it. It's like, what the heck is this? It's almost like a bunch of scarecrows in a way.
Coleto Fava Mountain
This is a nice site. Where is this at? This is sweet. Man, living right there would be perfect.
in northern Italy, satellites captured a 200-foot-long pink bunny sprawled out on its back. This was a massive knitted sculpture stuffed with straw, created by the art collective Gelatin to be a place where hikers could rest and play. The bunny was designed to be biodegradable, but the designers didn't account for the brutality of the elements. Over 2 decades, the vibrant pink wool faded to a muddy gray and began a slow, grotesque process of rotting. Recent satellite images show the bunny literally decomposing into the mountainside, looking less like a toy and more like the carcass of a giant mythical creature. It stands as a study in how even our most playful creations are eventually reclaimed by nature. In 2007, a satellite image of Sadr City, Iraq went viral for a terrifying reason. A small lake had turned a deep, visceral crimson. It looked like a literal pool of blood in the middle of a heavily populated area, sparking rumors of mass disposals or chemical warfare. While local legends whispered about blood being dumped from slaughterhouses, scientists pointed to a biological defense mechanism. The lake is located in a district with poor sewage infrastructure, creating high levels of organic waste. When combined with extreme Iraqi heat and high salt content, this created a perfect storm for Dunalia salina, a type of algae that releases red pigments to protect itself from the sun's UV radiation. It was a visual horror show created by nature's struggle for survival. For more than a century, the prevailing scientific belief was that the Amazon rainforest was a pristine wilderness. Historians argued that the soil was too poor to support large-scale agriculture and that the jungle was too dense for a major civilization to thrive. But as modern deforestation began to strip away the canopy, satellites started seeing something that proved that the experts were dead wrong. Etched into the earth were hundreds of massive, perfectly geometric geoglyphs, circles, squares, and hexagons, some over 300 meters wide. These weren't just random clearings, they were complex earthworks involving deep ditches and high embankments, some dating back over 2,000 years. The precision of these shapes is staggering. Many are perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions, and they are often connected by a network of wide, sunken roads that stretch for miles. The satellite imagery revealed that the Amazon was once home to a garden city civilization, a society of millions who moved millions of tons of earth to create a managed landscape. These people didn't just live in the jungle, they engineered it. This discovery has forced a complete rewrite of South American history, showing that the Amazon was once the most densely populated and technologically advanced regions in the ancient world. For over 100 years, maps showed Sandy Island in the Coral Sea. It appeared on Google Earth.
That's crazy. The Amazon was populated with all those people. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool though. Maybe the sun was like more dangerous back then, and so that's why they lived in the shade like that.
Earth is a dark charcoal colored silver, looking exactly like a volcanic landmass that would appear from orbit. But when scientists sailed there in 2012, they found nothing but 4,000 feet of deep blue water. This ghost island was the result of a 140-year-old human error, first recorded by a whaling ship in 1876, which likely mistook a large mass of floating volcanic pumice for land. The error was copied into digital databases for decades. The dark shape people thought that they saw on satellite maps was actually a polygon of data automatically generated by computers based on these old, unverified charts. It was a humbling reminder that our most advanced GPS systems are only as good as the old data that we fed them. Deep in the New Mexico desert, satellites captured two giant overlapping circles with diamonds in the center. The remote location and cryptic symbols immediately raised questions about secret government projects or alien landing pads. This is the Trementia base, featuring a massive nuclear hardened vault built into the mountainside. The symbols are etched into the parched earth and designed to be visible from high orbit. They reportedly serve as a return address or space marker for the church's founder, intended to help future generations find the location of his preserved teachings. Etched onto gold-plated discs and stored in titanium caskets, even if human civilization has been wiped out. The more we look down from above, the more we realize that Earth is full of secrets that are hiding in plain sight. Whether it's an ancient hunting trap or a modern-day mystery, these images prove that we should never stop asking questions about the world that we live in. Which of these satellite discoveries shocked you the most? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below. For now though, I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and I'll see you on the next one.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Very nice video. Let me know if you want to see some more of these types of videos or what kind of videos you'd like to watch. That would be a good idea. Let me know what you think. What do you watch the most of out of reaction videos and top 10s, all that kind of stuff? You know, what are your favorite type of videos? That's basically what I'm trying to ask. I'm trying to look for other things to react to other than just music. So yeah, so thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our merch store if you're interested in helping out the channel and buying some merch. You beautiful people, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.